Hello! Today I'm going to teach you how to use Google Calendar for college. The first objective of this tutorial is how to add the class schedule for a whole semester to Google Calendar. And the second objective is how to add due dates to Google Calendar. Before we start, I need to mention a few things. The first one is that I wanted to talk about accessibility. This video includes a transcript with outlines and captions for those who may need it. Also, remember that Google Calendar doesn't have a native option to adjust its visuals for those who experience color vision deficiency or daltonism. So in that case, you will depend in whatever visual adjustment options your device includes. I also wanted to say that you're invited to use the transcript with outlines or the captions if that's your preference. Also, before we start, I wanted to talk about localization. The first thing you should know is that you can change the first day of the week in Google Calendar. For example, in the United States, the first day of the week that we see on calendars is Sunday. But for example, where I'm from, in Spain, the first day of the week is Monday. So Google Calendar allows you to change that to your preference. The second thing is that Google Calendar supports multiple calendars used across the world. For example, the Chinese calendar, in the case of the United States, the Gregorian calendar. So again, whatever fits your preference, Google Calendar supports it. Finally, before we start, the materials. First, you need your class schedule. We need to know at what time your classes meet and what days. Second, we need to know when is the last day of classes for that semester. You may also want to have some due dates. Maybe you don't have all of them right now, but some due dates to start putting into the calendar and seeing how it works. And of course, you need a Gmail account because that's how you access Google Calendar. With this information out of the way, we can get started in the tutorial. So now we're in Google Calendar. We're in the week view. As you can see, we can see the full week. And in this tutorial, we're gonna use ENC 3250 as an example, and where this class takes place at 10:40 up to 11:30 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Let's start adding our class schedule to Google Calendar. The first day of our class is Monday. So as you can see, there's this column for Monday in our week view. We're gonna place our mouse between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. in the Monday column, and we're gonna left click. Now we can add a title for our event, which in this case is essentially the time our class meets. I personally like to add just the class code, ENC 3250. Next, we can adjust this exact time our class meets. I personally like to type it out. 10:40 to 10:30. Really important because this event does repeat. I personally like to set it to custom. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These are the days this class meets at these times. Then we can select a date for our event to end. I'm gonna select on. I'm gonna let Google Calendar know that classes in this semester end in December 7th. I'm gonna click done. I also like to add a color. And once we click done, as you can see, it has been multiple events have been created throughout the weeks. Now we're gonna add a due date to our Google Calendar. The due date for Project 2 is Sunday, October 23rd. We're gonna find that day by using these arrows on the top. Similar to when we use Monday, here we see a column for Sunday 23rd. We're gonna click in the big number. We're gonna click on it again, and it's gonna open this window, and this window is for the whole day. As you see, there's no specific time described. So I'm just gonna name it Project 2. I'm gonna use the same color I did last time, and I'm just gonna save it. Well, let's switch back to week view, and as you can see, it is there, Project 2 on the due date we assign. Now you know how to add a class schedule throughout multiple weeks, and you also know how to add a due date. Thanks for watching.